Happy Hump Day and good morning, West Michigan. I'm Emily Scarlett.
Halfway through the week, I'm Tanner Holbrook. Thank you so much for waking up with us and watching on 13 Plus. And on this Wednesday, really no issues for me on the roads. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, nice, easy drive-in. Still took it slow though, just because Sam is so cold.
Yeah.
So any bit of slickness or precipitation, I'm like, oh, just be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. Further inland that you travel, smooth sailing. Lakeshore counties, you certainly still should expect some snow-coated roadways. Made it to yesterday. One thing that I will mention about today's forecast is that I do anticipate a little bit more cloud coverage in the outlook throughout the day today. We had lots of pockets of sunshine between that lake effect snow yesterday, which is always nice. I just don't foresee as much of that throughout the day today. As for those winds, they will be sustained out of the north and west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting at 15. So nice calm winds sustained throughout your Wednesday. Into your Thursday, winds are going to take a slight tilt to the north-northwest, and that's going to help to keep lake effect snow bands concentrated mainly off the lake shore and over Lake Michigan itself. We do have a snow system working to the south of us that is going to maybe amplify our lake effect snow inland just a touch throughout the day today, which is why we could see a few light flurries. It's also why we are experiencing a little bit more cloud coverage rather than just our lake effect cloud coverage from yesterday. Hour by hour forecast here showing some of those light flurries pushing inland by the time we hit 4 or 5 o'clock. And then here comes that stronger band that sets up with those north-northwesterly winds throughout your Thursday. South Haven stretching down through Benton Harbor. We'll watch that area closely. We could end up seeing some relatively high snowfall totals closer to 4+ inches by the time Thursday is said and done, just within that band. While everybody else remains underneath dry conditions, the other two spots that could be slightly clipped but not nearly as high in terms of snowfall totals because you wouldn't be inside the heart of the band itself would be Big Sauble and Little Sauble Point. The rest of West Michigan, maybe a few light flurries throughout your Thursday, but mostly cloudy conditions are predominantly expected. Lakeshore boundary today, temperature-wise, you are going to be low 20s. A little bit of light lake effect.
Contend with overnight for the most part, but if you were outside while it was dark, you might have seen something pretty unique in the sky.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been sent a couple viewer photos of light pillars over the last several days, and this happens when we have these very cold temperatures suspended in our atmosphere, and then lights reflect off of the ice crystals that sit in the sky and give us this cool optical illusion. No, this is not aliens taking over. This is actually just lights that are always out there, just reflecting a little bit differently in our eyes. And temperatures still very cold this morning, sitting at 12 degrees in Big Rapids as well as Grand Rapids, 17 right now in Muskegon. We do have the presence of some cloud coverage, which helped us out this morning in comparison to yesterday, keeping us that touch day today and tomorrow. It's going to be very fine, light, dusty lake effect snow. We know the drill at this point, right? Other than that, Energy Park, Holland, man, you guys have just had rounds and rounds of lake effect snow the last several days. We will continue on with the fine dusty lake effect, and that is going to impact places like, let's say, Grand Haven, stretching through Holland on US 31, southbound or northbound, where we do have that fine dusty snow continuing to come down. Those roads could be a little extra coated. As for our temperatures this morning, we are sitting at 13 degrees in Big Rapids, 12 in Holland, 9 degrees in Battle Creek. Bottom picture of things here, you factor in the wind, it feels even colder, but we are doing better that we've been experiencing, right, for the last several days now, making it feel like around 7 to 8 degrees today. Our wind speeds will be sustained predominantly out of the north and west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So nice calm winds. We don't have that much to be concerned about there. Gusting at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. There's a broader system down to the south of us, and it is going to wrap some cloud coverage into West Michigan. But other than that, we will be relatively quiet and unscathed by the system to the south. We do have, of course, that very fine, dusty lake effect snow continuing. US 31, once again, you are the ones to experience the snowfall today and then to the lakeshore edge. I would say from Muskegon through Grand Haven, stretching down through Holland and into portions of Allegan County is where we will likely accumulate another 1 to 2 inches throughout the day today. Hour by hour forecast showing exactly that, some of that light snowfall working inland into the afternoon and overnight hours, and then a secondary band setting up into your Thursday. This one one does look to have a bit of steam to it, but because the majority of it will be concentrated over the water, South Haven, Benton Harbor, Big Sauble, Little Sauble Point, you're the only two areas that I think will see any accumulation for your Thursday. In terms of snowfall totals today, a ½ inch to 1 to 2 inches expected along the lakeshore, and then inland trace amounts. Photos that reflect light pillars. Now, this is not, an alien invasion or anything of that nature. This just comes down to there are plenty of ice crystals suspended in our atmosphere right now because of how cold the temperatures are outside. And so from the lights from the building are actually refracting off of those ice crystals and creating these light pillars. So a really, really beautiful phenomenon there. Thank you, Jeff Bowers, for sending us that photo. Those in Holland, Muskegon, stretching through Grand Haven as well, into portions of Allegan County, but it's a very fine, dusty lake effect snow. You can see our live look over Energy Park. Certainly still some snow coating the street there at 13 degrees. A vast majority of this light snowfall is US 31 to the lakeshore's edge, so a majority of West Michigan is not being impacted by this. There is a broader system to the south of us that wrapped some cloud coverage into our forecast, which actually helped us out a little bit. We're sitting at 12 mass. This is a far-reaching cold system making its way right now all the way down through the Texas Panhandle. Now, as we head throughout the day today, we are going to continue on with these very cold temperatures, but look at these departures from average. Austin, Texas, nearly 40 degrees below where they normally should be waking up this morning. Here in Grand Rapids, not all that bad in comparison. We're 16 degrees colder than normal. Our average temperature typically sits at about 20 degrees for our overnight low. We're sitting at 12 degrees this morning. Omaha, Nebraska sitting at -2 degrees. Dodge City sitting at -5. So needless to say, this is an expansive cold air mass. The good news is that changes are coming to the pattern. We're starting to see in our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook warmer than normal conditions expected to set up for a vast majority of the country. Hopefully that brings that spring-like air mass as we head into early March for us here in West Michigan out the day today. And then a warming trend finally beginning as we extend throughout the next several days. We'll break back into the 20s tomorrow and into Friday through Saturday, and then into the low to mid 30s by the weekend, headed into early next week, teetering on a 40-degree mark. That will bring some wintry mixes back into the forecast, but at least give us some relief from the bitter cold. Now, of course, that Arctic air generating light lake effect snow once again this morning. If you're driving US 31 corridor to the lakeshore's edge, chances are you will be experiencing that snowfall once again today. Some of it pushing inland as we head into the afternoon hours, bringing us scattered chances for light flurries. Into your Thursday, winds do shift slightly more northerly. This is going to create a consistent band extended over Lake Michigan from South Haven down through Benton Harbor. There could be an additional 3 to 5 inches of snow that come down throughout your Thursday, while the rest of us remain relatively unscathed from that snowfall. I will say I'll watch Big Sauble and Little Sauble Point, though. Those are two areas that could also be clipped by that lake effect snow band. In terms of today's snowfall totals, a trace to a ½ inch away from the lakeshore's edge, 1 to 2 inches along the lakeshore itself headed into 11 o'clock tonight. So that will create some slick conditions on the roads, but shouldn't be too bad in terms of any impacts. It looks like she annoys the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the one on top behind was like, I know you're up to something.
Right.
Exactly. That's why they're
Exactly.
behind.
Dogs
right?
are always plotting.
Yes.
They are.